My name is Gracie. I'm working with the Math Center, and this is my tutor tip. So I'm going to show you guys how to run a independent samples t-test using SPSS. You use an independent samples t-test when you want to compare average scores on a certain measure between two groups. If you can see here on the screen, I have two variables in here. One is my grouping variable and one is my scoring variable. Let's say that our groups would say 1 represents cats and 2 represents dogs. And let's say that this measure is, I don't know, number of times that they get in trouble every month. So you can see it's pretty high. Your cats and dogs are acting up. Okay, so it's really important if you go over here to variable view to make sure that your grouping variable is in the nominal setting and that your scoring variable is in the scale setting. What this scale setting does is it just lets the program know that you're inputting numbers here and not a word or anything like that. If you try to run your t-test and you have this, your testing variable still under nominal, it won't know what to do and it'll tell you there's an error. So if you're ever trying to run a t-test, says something's going wrong, always go to variable view and check what type of measure you have input as your testing variable in particular. Okay, so to run a t-test, what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the top bar and click Analyze, then go to Compare Means, scroll on down to Independent Samples t-test. We're going to put, well, I've already done that earlier, but I'll take it out just so I can re-show y'all. Okay, in testing variables, we're going to put scoring, whatever the scoring variable is, and in grouping variable, we'll put whatever our grouping variable is. And in define groups, you just want to put in whatever the numbers are that you input for each group. So I have here group 1 is 1 and group 2 is 2 because that's the numbers that I put in to represent each group, where 1 is cat and 2 is dog. If I had used 4 for cat and 5 for dog, then I would put those numbers in my grouping variables. All right, now I'm going to go over here and click OK. And SPSS opens up a new window that is the output, which is the results of our analyses. Sometimes SPSS is funky and it like hides it, so don't panic, it's there, you just have to look for it. And I can see it down here at the bottom of my screen, so I'm going to go ahead and maximize that. All right, these are results. Now, it might be a little bit scary to look at these at first because you're like, what the heck do all of these numbers mean? Well, let's look up here in group statistics. This N tells you how many members of each group there are. So it looks like we have 16 cats and 14 dogs. And this is just, a descriptive statistics for each group. So mean, standard deviation, standard error of the mean. Normally, the most important box for what your teachers will probably ask for is in this independent samples t-test box. And the two most important things are this p-value and this significance value, which is your p-value. All right, first things first, you'll notice that we have a bar of scores right here and then a second bar of scores right here. And the first question is, how do I know which set of scores to use? So what you're going to do is look here at this significance level right here for Levine's test for equality of variances. Basically, what this is doing is telling you which of these bars you should use. Look right here at this number. See if it is less than 0.05. If it's less than 0.05, we'll use the top row. If it's not less than 0.05, we use the bottom row. As you can see here, this number is 0.36. That's above 0.05, so we cannot assume the variances are equal. Therefore, we're going to use the bottom row. Now, the two most important numbers you're going to need are the test statistic, that's this T, and then the p-value, which is over here where it says sig 2 tails. All right, so our test statistic is right there. You're going to want to report that. And then you're going to want to report this number under significance level, that's your p-value. If you all remember, if the p-value is less than whatever significance level is, then you can reject the null hypothesis and conclude there's a difference. Standard rule of thumb is 0.05. So let's look here. Is this 0.743 less than 0.05? No, it is not. Therefore, we can't reject our null hypothesis that there's not a difference between the two groups. And we cannot conclude that there is an average difference between number of times cats and dogs get in trouble in a given month. All right, thanks guys. Let me know if I can help in any way. Just reach out to the Math Center. Thank you. Bye.